All right, welcome back. You're watching NewsX. My name is ReNEET Malhotra. NewsX has accessed exclusive details that clearly show how Telegram is being misused by many to leak examination papers. NewsX has accessed the screenshots that show how lakhs of rupees were demanded from students for them to secure the leaked papers. The screenshots show a range of illegal activities, including the circulation of leaked examination papers, cyber fraud, and much more. Well, the government described Telegram as a new dark web, claiming its privacy features make it difficult for agencies to identify offenders. It also alleged that the platform is being used to distribute malware, facilitate cyber attacks, share stolen data, promote money laundering networks, and enable unauthorized access to citizens' personal information through bots and channels. Siddharth Rege, my colleague, is joining us at this point in time. Siddharth, this is obviously why Telegram has been banned for a certain duration in India. And even before, this leak happened, Siddharth, there were palpable feelers which were given out about Telegram that it is a platform that has escaped scrutiny despite entertaining a host of illegal activities in the past.
Well, Vineet, this is pretty damning of an evidence that we have received, and I'll just request my PCR to take this full frame before we dive into this particular document. It's a 158-page document, an affidavit that we've accessed. But before diving into specifics, here is what the government is saying. Unlike conventional platforms, Telegram is completely cloud-based, permitting seamless synchronization across multiple devices and enabling storage and retrieval of large volumes of content beyond a single endpoint device. Telegram further provides an extensive bot ecosystem enabling automated dissemination of content, user onboarding, redirection to mirror channels, and other activities without continuous human intervention. Now to look at the evidence that has been shared, and here it is that we have accessed, we need it is in great detail that the government and this affidavit has detailed every single wrongdoing that Telegram has been involved in. This, for example, includes part 1, which are the Telegram channels and bots and groups that have been named in this particular affidavit. You see the display name being mentioned, the handle and invite link that has been mentioned, the type, which is either it is a channel or a bot that has been mentioned, the reach has been mentioned as well, the pricing and modus operandi has been mentioned here as well. And these are the several of these accounts and these channels that were operating that were obviously scamming the students in exchange of money. Look at this one, Private Mafia, and this is the invite link that they were sharing. It is a channel which had an incredible reach of 15,693 students, or rather people who mostly will be students. The central organizer had demanded a rupees 10 lakh, price for every single leak that they were putting on this particular platform. And there are almost, 22 of these platforms that have been mentioned. There are also UPI IDs that have been mentioned here as well. And the supporting infrastructure through which, they used to increase their reach beyond Telegram has also been mentioned. You can see Terabox links being mentioned over here. You can see Instagram handles being mentioned here as well. For example, giraffe.3978116 as well, where these Telegram invite links have been pushed. And these are the names of the people who have been mentioned in this particular in these particular Telegram files. You see Shashikant Garg here, who's been confirmed as an operator who operated at least 4 Telegram channels and signed off by the name NEET paper leaked. Pinned messages constitutes admission of fraud, and this is the evidence that have been collected against these 4 people: Shashikant Garg, Vishal Chaurasia, Aman Bhaiya, Jay Prasad. So this is an entire network, Vineet, that was running and existed to scam the students. And for example, I'm also going to, talk you through this Operation ReNEET leak, the entire investigation that exposes this fraud that was going on Telegram as well. You see the number of students that have been affected here. You're talking about 22.79 lakh students who were either, part of these WhatsApp groups, these Telegram channels, these coaching hubs that redirected these students to the Telegram channels as well. And Vineet, I'm going to talk about some of these Telegram links now as well. You're talking about, we spoke about Private Mafia that had 15,700 subscribers as mentioned earlier. It had an Instagram lead that I have mentioned earlier as well. And these are the particular channels that were created to lure the students in. It had these several, links through which people used to join. 15,693 are the people that we have talked about. This is the requested amount is 2,000 rupees. So if you take a sense and you do some back of the hand math, you're talking about 15,700 subscribers to this particular channel, and 2,000 rupees extracted from each of them. We're talking about lakhs and lakhs of money that was transferred to this one Jai Prasad through this fraud network that that existed on Telegram as well. So pretty damning, evidence, Vineet, here being presented by the government against Telegram, and this is the part one of the Telegram files as we've just showed our viewers.
All right, Siddharth, appreciate that exhaustive demonstration of this proof that the government has handy when it comes to prosecuting Telegram as well as banning them, because it's very difficult to ban the legal content from the illegal content. So that's why there is a blanket ban here that we see by the government in light of the discrepancies and the problems this has created for the NEET examination. Mr. Piyush Bhardwaj, cyber law expert, is with us on the program. Mr. Sakshar Duggal, AI governance law expert, also joins us on the program to give his analysis of what this means for Telegram. Piyush, I'm going to start with you. Well, Telegram has been in news in the past as well for all the wrong reasons. The government say that it is the newest, the most accessible version of the dark web. Now, the dark web is something which, as the name suggests, is used to conduct activities which, of course, are primarily illegal in nature. How did Telegram get so far that people have had these elaborate scams and schemes running on it for so long?
See, it's a very interesting question. In fact, the affidavit that has been filed before the Honorable Court today, it's a very dedicated document, more than 150 pages. And, preliminary, it suggests that it is one of those most versatile apps, which in its own existence, there is no any other such app that is being, monitored or being used in our nation. With the factors and features like bots and, operations and dissemination of information at mass scales without human intervention, there are certain features whereby at a point of time you are able to manipulate, delete, you are able to, wash off or on a subsequent date, change. So it becomes very difficult for the investigating agencies to actually trace the human intervention source of messages. And in fact, the credible documentation in terms of what information has emanated at point. In the present case concerned, it was only the bot channels. And for the viewers, I would like to, explain in general that bots are really certain sort of AI generated channels that are, pre-commanded to execute certain functions, which can include, publishing of information, dissemination of information at, certain points of time. And that puts up the investigating agencies in a very different role for the, a very difficult situation, for the reason that you can't trace any human intervention or the perpetrator or the mastermind of who has been responsible and at public at large. these bot channels were not only responsible for the request of money, acceptance of money, circulation of these kind of papers, announcements regarding such kind of illegal networking in terms of information, whereby that pieces of information were shared for a substantial amount of money. In the affidavit filed by the government, the general price tag went till the extent of 22 lakhs for some students. And only upon circulating this illegal material, subsequently these materials were manipulated in terms of being deleted from the channel and the very source. So it became actually very difficult for the prosecuting agencies to find out what is the point of origin, who is the mastermind, from where it is being regulated, considering this very institution is not registered per se as a company in India. It belongs overseas. And considering the implications and the difficulties for the government to monitor and actually put balances in place, afford a sort of blanket ban till the time they have further plan of action. The kind of affidavit that has been filed in the court of law by the Union of India very categorically states that against the said ban, that the company has filed a petition that is pretty much very academic in nature and doesn't have real-time implications. So actually, the government is empowered to make such kind of ban for its for the prevention of its misuse. So this is the situation by far.
Let me also rope in Sakshar Duggal into this conversation. Sakshar, what do you think is the stance that the government should be taking? They are obviously the ones that are plagued by these inconsistencies and these fraudulent activities which take place on Telegram. But of course, Telegram has also told the courts that 150 million people, most of them, 99.9% perhaps, do not have any malintent in mind, will also be affected. I mean, it's difficult to assess who's right here.
It's quite simple here. I completely agree with government's standpoint. They are right at their place because considering the back record of Telegram, and this affidavit shows very much clearly, if you look at section 79(3)(b), under which this whole affidavit has been framed. I completely agree. But one more thing I think which we are missing out here is that banning Telegram, okay, that's great, but that is just step one. What about our intrinsic security measures? Because see, there are n number of ways in today's times you can ban Telegram, but that's not just the only way through which an exam leak can take place. Therefore, we need to strengthen our intrinsic frameworks as well. Yes, even if Telegram is banned, that doesn't give you a solid guarantee that the perpetrators would not be there on different platforms and cause leakage for this exam. That is the main criteria that the government should, if you ask me, the government should take, because right now, the current infrastructure, cybersecurity frameworks of different departments altogether, they are not in place. And thanks to AI, new various ways have come up, new mediums have come up for these perpetrators to get in and cause. Yes, banning Telegram is great, but more focus should be our own intrinsic security measures.